Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deliana Rahayu from Bachelor of Nursing 2B class. My purpose today is presenting about strategy for the reading comprehension question. I'm here today to present Skillboard to Skill 6. My presentation will take about 20 minutes. So, welcome to my presentation. Okay, let's move to the next slide. This is skill of the reading. This talk is divided into 3 main parts. So, for the skill 4 is implied detail question, skill 5 vocabulary and context question, and last skill is skill 6 word question. Well, let's move to the next slide. Firstly, I'd like to look at skill 4, that's implied detail question. You can see on the screen a strategy for the answer the question about implied detail question. How to identify the question? For the example question is, it is implied the present that blah blah blah. It is can be inferred from the present that blah blah blah. It most likely that blah 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 and what probably happened blah blah blah. So, how to find the answer or where to find the answer? The answer to this question are found in order in the passage. So, how we can answer the question? For the first, choose a keyword in the question. Then, scan the appropriate part of the passage for the keyword or state idea. Third, read the sentence that contains the keyword or idea carefully. And last, look for the answer that contains the keyword carefully. But the words are not in the text, but they are implied. So the conclusion is based on the existing statement. Read all the lines, then check each sentence and look for the answer, then conclude it. So let's move to the next slide. Let me give you an example. This is a passage, so you can read the text and we will move to the question on the next slide. For the question number 1, it is implied the passage that if a tree has 100 wide bands and 100 narrow bands, it is for the option A century old, B 2 centuries old, C 50 years old, D 200 years old. So for the next slide is the answer is a century old. For the number 1, look for the keyword wide band and the narrow bands. The word is on line 2. Each year a tree produces a ring that is composed one light colored wide band and one dark colored narrow band. In the second line, there is the word each year, which means is every year. If we can conclude that 100 years to make 100 wide band and narrow bands, or it means the same as 1 century. The answer it can be in the form of word with the same meaning or synonym. So the answer is a century old. So let's move to the question number 2. Question number 2, it can be inferred from the passage that cell do not grow. For the option, when the tree is ill, during extreme heat or cold, when it rains too much, and it there are more light colored pen and dark colored pen. So the answer is B during extreme heat or cold, because there is a clue in the last sentence. No cells are produced during the harsh winter and summer month. It means winter is cold weather and summer is hot weather. So the conclusion, the answer can be in the form of the word with the same meaning or synonym. So the answer is B, during extreme heat or cold. Okay, let's move to the next slide for the next skill. Secondly, I'll be talking about skill 5, vocabulary in context question. So let's move to the next slide so you can see on the screen it is a strategy for answer question about vocabulary in context question. Um, how to identify the question. For the example question is, what is the meaning? Which of the following is plus meaning to blah 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 or and blah 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 could be replaced by which the following. So how to find the answer or where we can find the answer? The answer usually tell you in which line of the passage the word or expression can be found. So how to answer the question? First, we need to find the word or expression in the passage. Second, read the sentence that contains of the word carefully. Third, look for the context clue to help you understand the meaning. And last, four, uh, choose the answer that the context indicates. So in this section, we discuss questions related to vocabulary. In the identify question, we look for the meaning of the word. Its meaning can be synonym or a word that means close together. In the word section, uh, usually the question will be told on that line in order to answer the question correctly. Uh, in the answer section, we look for the word in the text, then read all the sentence, look for and see the clue, and choose the answer most appropriate answer. So let's move to the next slide. I will give you an example. A line in the passage. Blah blah blah. She has large geranium growing in a pot in the corner of her apartment. So next slide for the question. A geranium is probably which of following? For the option a sofa, B, a chair, C, a fish, and D, a plant. So the answer is D, is a plant. So on the question about geranium, because we don't know what geranium is, so we can read the text and we see that there is a sentence. Geranium growing in a pot. So it can be concluded that this geranium is a plant because it can grow in the pot. So the answer is D, a plant. Okay, let's move to the next skill. Finally, I will be looking at the last part about skill 6. Where question. So let's move to the next slide. As you can see on the screen, there is a strategy for the answer where question. How to identify the question? For the example question is where is the passage? So how we can find out the answer or where to find the answer? The question usually tell you in which line of the passage the word or expression can be found. So, how to answer the question? First, find the word or expression in the passage. Second, read the sentence that contains the word carefully. Third, uh, look for the context clue to help you understand the meaning. And fourth, choose the answer that the contents indicate. So in this section, We discuss questions that search for the specific word on what line in the text. To find the answer, we need to look for the word are looking for, then read carefully the part of the sentence and look for the clue. After that, we match the text, then the answer will be found. So I will give you example for on the next slide. This is passage, so you can read the text, and we will move into the question on the next slide. For the question number 1, where in the passage does the author define the word capital? For the option A, lines 1 to 2, B line 3, C lines 4, D line 6 to 8. For the answer is C. Line 4, because we look for the word capital. Well, this capital is on the fourth line, so the answer is C, line 4. Okay, let's move to the next question, or question number 2. Where in the passage does the author mention where the US capital can be found? For the option A, line 1 to 2, B, line 3, C, line 4 to 5, D, line 6 to 8. So the answer is D, line 6 to 8. Because we search for the clue where the US capital can be found, so this sentence can be found on the sixth line to the last line. That's 8th line. So the answer is D, line 6 to 8. Okay. Maybe just that from me. Let me end by saying thank you for your attention. Sorry if there are many mistakes during the presentation. Thank you for everything. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.